Hi, welcome to another tutorial from Tiger Triangle Technologies. If you are looking for a way to run your own private AI assistant that can use local large language models, I want to introduce you to Open WebUI. It's a feature-packed alternative to online chatbots like Chat GPT, and today I'm going to walk you through the basics. I will explain what Open WebUI is, how to install it, how to use it with local Ollama models, and how to use it with OpenAI. Let's do it. Today there are quite a few alternatives out there to your online AI chatbots. And today I want to show you one. It's called Open WebUI. It looks very Chat GPT-ish. It runs locally, privately on your machine. Here's a quick example of a prompt. Here I'm acting as a product manager for Proprietary Incorporated, working on an important project. So I'm saying, please create an email informing my boss that more funding is needed in order to finish Widget 2.0 prototype. We need an additional $750,000. So I'm asking for more money and going to have it draft an email. So we'll circle back around and talk more about this in just a moment, but let's get you up and running with Open WebUI. We have a web browser open and we're at docs.openwebui.com. Let's first answer the question, what is Open WebUI? So this actually says a lot here in this short little paragraph, and I think it's worth spending a little time on. First of all, it's extensible. The functionality can be extended. Next, it's feature rich, and I'll say it is. Look at the number of features here as we scroll down the page. That's pretty impressive. So yeah, there's a lot of features, and if you look at their roadmap, there's more to come. It's user-friendly. I would say after using it, I would agree with that, and it is very much like you'd be used to already if you've used ChatGPT. It's self-hosted web UI designed to operate entirely offline. It gives you a private, personal AI chatbot, which if you have personal or proprietary information, that can be important. Also, it supports various LLM runners, including Ollama, and also it supports OpenAI compatible APIs. So that means you can use OpenAI's ChatGPT APIs as well if you have the API key. And you could also use LM Studio or something like that. So pretty powerful software. Let's get right into it. So to do that, you guessed it, we go to Getting Started. All right, so it has this before you begin, and this is important because we need to install Docker first. If you need help installing Docker, check out a previous video I just made called Docker Desktop Getting Started, or if you need help with installing Ollama, I have a previous video on that as well. We're on the Getting Started page in the Open WebUI docs. As we scroll down here, we can see how to install it. And there's a few different options. And to be honest, installation is pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy once you get Docker installed. And Docker Desktop walkthrough is a different video, as I mentioned earlier. But here, if you have Ollama on your computer already, then it has this command which you use. And if you have Ollama on a different server, there's another different command for that. And we scroll on down, and here is an option where you bundle Ollama with Open WebUI. And so you can, if you don't have Ollama on your computer already, you can do it with one shot. And down here there are some other installation methods that you can use as well. But I'll leave that up to you to investigate further if you want. And then it tells you how to troubleshoot or update to get the latest version and update your local Docker. What we're going to do is, since we already have Ollama on this computer, is we're going to run this command here. I'm going to copy that into the command line. If you see a message that says unable to find image, that's normal Docker behavior. It looks locally first. If it can't find it there, it'll pull it from the server. The Docker image has been downloaded now. We went to localhost 3000 in our web browser, and the first time you launch this, you're greeted with a sign-in. So the first person that creates an account is the administrator and gets full privileges. Okay, so we just signed in. It tells what's new, what's the latest. Okay, let's go. And as you can see, it really has a Chat GPT look and feel here. So we're going to select a model. Let's see if it shows what we have installed. Yep. Up here at the top where you can change the model, you can also set it as default. There is also a way to add a model, and there's this settings icon. It looks like a gear. You can also change the settings down here by clicking on your profile and clicking on settings. This gives you quite a few options. You can change the theme, change it to dark, and change it to language. You can include a system prompt down here where you can provide clear instructions on the role of the AI chatbot, maybe the expected format of its responses, and this can really assist you in various scenarios. And we talked about that in the last couple sessions. We talked about as we're building these model files for Ollama. In fact, there's a lot more of those parameters that you can set here as well. So it does make it pretty easy to do it right there. So if we look at connections, we can add an Open AI API as well. So we can put that in here, and we can show you, and then I'll show you what that does in a little bit. This is the base URL for Ollama, and as long as you installed Ollama with all your defaults, this shouldn't need to be changed. Here's where you can manage your Ollama models, and you can pull new models, delete them if we wanted to. So it makes it managing them really pretty easy. If we look at the interface tab, this is where you can control the titles, which are automatically generated. And on the left side, which is pretty neat, you can give it a different prompt on how to generate those. There's also these default prompts down here, and you can even change those as well. Audio, this is where you can change your speech to text and also text to speech. So it has it where you can select the engine, and you can actually set the voice down here as well. You can have auto playback response where it just automatically tells you in a voice. And one that might be nice is to change that voice down there. And it's similar to what you get from, inside Edge or something you can change. Automatic 1111 is stable diffusion image generation user interface that you can install and then utilize from here. This controls your chat history. You can import, export, delete your chats, and then this is about your account, and this is about what versions you're running as well. So that's basically it for the settings. One thing I forgot to do is save that key. So let me go ahead and put that in again. Save it, and okay. Now here you'll see now that we have the Open AI shows up, with all these options. Keep in mind, if you use any of these, it is going to cost you money because you're hitting their API. So you'll have to make sure you can go into the web API when you set this up and buy a certain amount of credits or whatever. So there's a lot of control there, but just keep in mind that these do cost money, where your local models, running in Ollama, are free, and they run locally where the others do not run locally, right? So they're hitting that web API. Okay, that's probably was obvious, but just want to point that out just in case. So I mentioned before that we'd come back around to this prompt and talk a little about it. And so down here below the response, you see some icons. And notice you can actually edit this right in here. So this is a draft, right? But maybe you want to change it and say, I want to put my name down there. So that's pretty cool, right? You have this editor right in here. You can save it. And so you can just click save and you notice it saves it. Also, you can copy it and then paste it into another editor if you want to use that. There's these reinforcement learning with human feedback, thumbs up, thumbs down, good response, bad response. Honestly, I don't think this is the best I can tell. This is not going to be used for anything locally. If you opt in to send that information to Open WebUI, the community, I think that is when it's used. If that's not correct and you know what these do or where it stores that information, just leave a comment, let us know. Then you can have it read aloud here as well. Here is going to be the generation info. Now the response that you get and the speed of it is going to be determined by the model that you're using, the resources on your computer. But for me, full transparency here, this response took 1 minute, 23 seconds. Probably would help to upgrade my memory a little bit and my computers. Anyway, so continue response. This is good if it failed to complete the response before and you wanted to pick back up and finish it, then you could use that. Or you can regenerate it. If you didn't like this or you wanted a different option, you can click regenerate and it'll do that for you. Okay, so we have our new completion here because we asked for it to regenerate. And notice now that you have two that you can cycle back and forth. We have original, which remember I edited, and you have this new one. I actually think it did a great job on the first go. So I would probably start with this one. But if it didn't, this is great to give you another option or two as you go along. Well, that wraps up this session. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope this helps you out with getting up and running with Open WebUI. Until next time, take care.